After 1 week of NBA basketball, debuting at the top of the NBA.com rookie ladder, your very own Philadelphia 76ers, VJ Edgecombe, the third overall pick in June's NBA draft, having a fantastic start to his career. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers Podcast, live from the Xfinity Lounge. Derek, Kyle, we have to talk about this, as always, our rookie watch. But the rookie ladder to start off, VJ Edgecombe just making a big splash immediately, 34 points in his first game, even in game 2 where he didn't explode for that type of number in the scoring department. Still, stat sheet stuffer in that game, bounces back with another 26 in their third win over the Charlotte Hornets. And it just continues. Everybody's talking about VJ Edgecombe. While it's a combination of the backcourt of the Philadelphia 76ers, but VJ Edgecombe, once again, just surprising so many people with what he has done.
He's basically been in a class of his own in the sense that he has not had a straight up poor performance yet. He's had the highest ceiling of these guys. And when it's not his night, when he's less involved, when he is turned into more of a quote unquote role player, he has still excelled or had one big thing that he did in those 2 games, right? So he had the 2 performances, the opener and the game against, what was it, Charlotte?
Game 3.
Or Orlando. Orlando was the one where he had.
Orlando.
Charlotte,
yeah,
he had more of
2.
a subdued game. But so
Yes.
he has the Orlando game and he has the opener. The other games, he had a big assist night against Charlotte where he turns into more of a playmaker. He keeps other guys involved, and you hear about the poise, the flow that he allows other guys to play in. And then in the game that they win against Washington, he's 4 for 8 from 3. And we see volume from him we weren't expecting. We see efficiency from him beyond the line that we were not expecting. And I think that's the big difference, right? Cedric Coward has been one of the other standout rookies so far from this class. And what he has done is essentially just very high-level role player every night. He's very efficient. He's scoring about 15, 16 points a night, but he's not taking lots of shots. The offense is not running through Cedric Coward. He has not been a featured player. VJ has been a featured guy. And so he's had a high ceiling when he does that. And when he's been in the role player role, when they're trying to accommodate everybody, he's been very good at that. That's what helps him stand apart from the rest of these guys. He's been incredible. He is deservedly at the top of the rookie ladder and now emerging as a potential favorite for Rookie of the Year. Very early days, but has looked great.
4 games, Derek, 22 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists right now for VJ Edgecombe, 1.5 steals, and 43% right now from 3, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And what's most impressive through 4 games now that you've seen him up close?
I mean, there's a bunch of things. The most impressive has been the consistency, which Kyle talked about. He has had the rookie with the highest highs and also been the most consistent. He has left an imprint on each of the 4 games that he has played to varying degrees. And for a rookie, especially a rookie guard, that is very tough to do. So that, I think, has been the most impressive. The most surprising is that 3-point shooting, high volume, accurate, good off-ball spacer. That was something I think we all expected could be a struggle for him early on, something he would have to adapt to and hopefully get better as the season goes on. And as his career goes on, well, he has been shooting the ball well and shooting it confidently right out of the gate. It is really just, and then probably the only thing I'd throw in there is the decision-making. Like the fact that I trust him as wholeheartedly as I do, and as Nick Nurse seems to do, and he's playing, darn near high 30s in minutes. Again, for a rookie, that is a very unique trait, to trust your decision-making at that. Like, this is a big jump in speed, in competition. It should be difficult to make that jump, and it has not looked difficult so far. And that's a pretty wild thing for a 20-year-old rookie.
It's been a fantastic start for the Sixers and VJ Edgecombe, 4-0 as things look right now. Well, undefeated right now. They have a game on Friday against the Boston Celtics. We'll see how that one plays out. But Kyle, the guy that you talked a lot about during the draft process, went number 11 to the Memphis Grizzlies, Cedric Coward. And while we talked about him briefly,
looks awesome
in the last rookie watch that we did, and this one, man, again, 16.5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting the ball really well from behind.
He is shooting 65% from the field,
yeah,
and almost 65% from 3.
Amazing.
As we have said about Sixers guys, that's not going to continue. But what he has brought to the table is that shooting and smart relocation instincts. He gets this. He plays off of John Morant. John Morant is obviously the high flying, downhill, athletic pick and roll threat, big time transition player. And Cedric Coward has shown the smarts to play off of him, sliding into the right spaces, living on a shot diet that frankly is just, I'm only going to get catch and shoot looks, close out attacks, and transition plays. Where I think he has set himself apart from a lot of these rookies is the defensive end, where he's made a lot of hustle plays. He has the frame that he can bother tons of people, right? Good athlete with an absolutely humongous wingspan. He's got big hands too, right? So if it's anywhere near him in a passing lane, he's got the opportunity to turn teams over. So he's been the early, I don't want to say huge surprise because we talked about him a lot. He was a draft darling during the combine lottery process. A lot of people talked about him. But I think one of the big things from this opening week and a half is the Dallas Mavericks have been such a mess and Cooper Flagg has been uneven that it has opened the door for people to look at other rookies and say, I could see a path to this guy winning Rookie of the Year. He's in a position to succeed. VJ's in a position to succeed. Coward is in a position to succeed. And some of these other guys that we're going to talk about are going to have opportunities where Cooper Flagg has been thrust into. You got to play point guard for long stretches of a game. That's not his role. It's not what he should be doing. He has struggled in his own right, not making excuses for him, but it has been tougher sledding for him. So it gives opportunities to the Cedric Cowards of the world to get a little bit of attention.
And look, you mentioned he's not a huge surprise, but at the time of the draft, when you would talk to executives around the league, they'd be like, look, we thought when he was at Eastern Washington, if he had come out or stayed in the draft, he might have been a second round pick. He might have even gone undrafted. We could have signed him, given him maybe a two-way contract. Either we missed something the previous year or people are overstating his 6 games at Washington State. Well, it turns out maybe you missed something when he was at Eastern Washington because he is playing very good basketball. And there's just such a clear pathway towards his skill set and his physical profile to have a role in the NBA that it is really, it's a little bit not surprising just because we were all, I forget exactly where I had him. I'm pretty sure I had him in the top 10 as well, or at least right around there. So it wasn't a huge surprise that he went that high. He is playing terrific basketball right now, and he is a player who I think is going to be a really good player for a long time.
The thing about the surprise part for me, though, is while we may not be all that surprised, number one, it did start on draft night when I remember sitting there, and I always like to find out just as it happens, and Kyle's like, whoa, wait till you find out who was taken at number 11 by the Memphis Grizzlies, Cedric Coward. And while it's not a surprise in a sense because of what the pre-draft conversation was, it was just a leap, that the way that it happened, the lack of games.
You still have to see it happen.
And you got to see it. And we didn't see it because there were only 6 games. Then to your point of, all right, maybe it shouldn't be a surprise right now with what he is doing in the Memphis Grizzlies uniform. The only reason that it's a bit of a surprise for him to jump the level that he has is not the fact that he's doing it. It's that the names that surround him, because everyone else's name is on tip of tongue for basketball fans, not Cedric Coward. When you say Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe, Cooper Flagg, Derek Queen, you say those names, you know exactly who they are. There are still some people who are getting themselves familiar with Cedric Coward, and that's where the surprise part, in a sense, does come into play.
You know what's crazy? He could be at Duke playing with Cam Boozer right now.
Yes, he could.
Cam Boozer in exhibition and early play here has looked like an absolute freak at the college level. Now imagine a guy who's putting up 16 points a game in the NBA at, he's what, 21, 22? He's an older player for a rookie. Imagine that guy playing next to and off of Cam Boozer. You're talking, there have been a lot of good Duke teams in recent years. Man, they would have killed teams.
Can I add one more before we get to the next person? When you say that, what if Cooper Flagg doesn't reclassify and he just simply goes in when he's supposed to go in and you have those 3?
We've been saying 99-0 for the Sixers. The Duke could go 99-0 in 32 games.
That's Cedric Coward of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's sitting number 2 in the early NBA.com ladder. We got to talk about Dylan Harper, though, next.
I was waiting. Devon, I need to hear about your guy, Jeremiah Fears.
Jeremiah Fears?
That's
team
your guy.
stinks, but we thought they were going to stink. I am even surprised at what Jeremiah Fears is doing this early in the season right now, averaging right around 12 points a game, for that team. He's taking advantage of an opportunity for minutes to be there with Alvarado getting hurt a little bit there and a chance to get out there on the floor. And while the issues that we've talked about with him just being a smaller basketball player right now in a backcourt that has a lot of big guards that are going to pressure him, that are going to get physical with him and try to knock him off of his path, his quickness is so good to get to the spots that he needs to. It hasn't really deterred him from doing those things. And then the shooting. We knew he could shoot, but we didn't know he could shoot. And he can shoot, Kyle. He has looked really good in the minutes that he's gotten right now for the Pelicans that they need whatever they're getting from him right now. And currently, what is he, 7th on this ladder at the moment, averaging what he's averaging. And he's just a tough guy. Zion Williamson called him a pro's pro already. The guy's, 19 years old?
He turned 19 like 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
He's very young.
Yeah, and he's doing this in, 18 minutes out there on the floor for Willie Green's team. The team is awful, and they're going to be really bad. But what it's going to do is give him an opportunity to get out there and play and show exactly why they picked him, where they picked him at pick number 7.
No, and look, he can get to his spots whenever he wants. And
He's
whenever
so
you have
fast.
a guy with that kind of creativity with the dribble and can break, have cut out of his break so quickly, when he does eventually take that 3-point or that jumper, extend it out to 3-point range, I cannot wait to see what he looks like. And when he puts on a couple pounds to help him take that beating inside.
The impressive thing for him, for me so far, is that he's shooting like 52% from the field right now. That's while he's shooting 11% from 3.
Made his first 3
He's
last
not
night.
getting to the free throw line. He's only getting like 2 a game, shooting poorly at the free throw line. He is killing inside the arc, right? So that speaks to what Derek is talking about with the getting to his spots, being comfortable in the mid-range, scoring around the basket. I think he's clearly a guy that, even with imperfect spacing for the Pelicans, is taking advantage of the extra space with the NBA line. And so once he starts to add from that mid-range game to the 3-point line, that's going to make him a very tough player to stop.
Yeah, man. And look, right now, again, 13.3 after the 4 games that they have played. And while at the moment, to your point, the 3-point shooting numbers haven't been well, just watching him and the things that we talked about, it's going to catch up.
Yeah.
That shooting. He can shoot the basketball. A really good player. A couple more before we get out of here. We got to talk about Derek Harper. Pardon me.
Different Harper.
Different Harper. Let's go to the one Harper that went number 2 overall and is playing some pretty good. When we did our predictions and with Dylan Harper, I wasn't sure if he would make the first team just because of Fox and Castle being in front of him with the opportunities be there. He's averaging 15 points.
People are ready to trade De'Aaron Fox out of San Antonio
already, and Fox hasn't even played, but he's just seamlessly fit right in.
He's in total control every time he's on the floor.
This is why we talked about him. Should the Sixers trade up to number 2 and get this guy?
He is so good.
Man.
And you could say this about any number of guys. I can't imagine a better spot for him and his style of game than San Antonio playing with Wemby, because all the concerns about, I don't know if he's going to shoot, it doesn't really matter because Wemby garners so much attention anytime he's on the floor. He is a true 5-out type of player. I guess 4 out if you don't trust the shooting of Harper right now. But Wemby being able to draw his man away from the rim, Harper is one of the most creative finishers and drivers in the league already. And he just punishes guys, right? He gets these guys on his hip. It's over. He's getting to the basket. I know it's the Brooklyn Nets and they're not good, but I caught a good chunk of the game that San Antonio played against Brooklyn. I believe it was on Sunday of this past week. And there was a stretch of plays where Dylan Harper scored 3 or 4 straight buckets, and they just had nothing to put in front of this guy. The counter moves, the hesitations, he has everything in the bag going downhill. And like I said in I think a previous rookie watch that we did, his ability to play off of Castle and do a little bit of the off-guard stuff makes me even more bullish than I was on him, because if those 2 guys can figure out the interchange play in year 1, they're so young and have all this runway in front of them. They are going to be, we talk about Maxey and Edgecombe being backcourt of the future and blah, blah, blah. Look out for Dylan Harper and Castle. Those guys are outstanding.
Yep.
Yep. All right, let's get one more in. We talked about Flag enough, and we will continue to talk about Flag. We got to pass the torch, Derek. To Kyle Neubeck. 3 games played for the Toronto Raptors.
Pass it back to me.
5 games total for the team. He's played in 3, but we got to pass it back. Hot hand. 10 points per game right now. He's shooting the 3-point ball. Again, it looks good, right? Where he's taking these shots, and it's not bad right now. Limited attempts, but he's shooting 60% from 3. And the defensive profile when you watch him, it matches everything that we talked about pre-draft.
Yeah, so Collin Murray-Boyles
He did that whole thing. I don't think he mentioned his name once.
I didn't want to say it.
Collin Murray-Boyles, I talked a ton about. I wrote about him in the pre-draft process. The big thing was nobody has any idea if this guy will shoot, let alone if he'll make the shots. He was a reluctant shooter at South Carolina. It still largely is not the strength of his game. Last 2 nights, 3 of 5 and 3 of 4 from 3 in back-to-back games. He's taken a lot of trail shots, which is what we expected. He has found early synergy and chemistry with Brandon Ingram, running a pick and pop with Ingram where he can get to his mid-range stuff or he can get to the basket, or throw it back to Collin Murray-Boyles and he's finding some comfort with that look. Do I expect him to be a 60 or a 75% three-point shooter as he was in the last 2 games? No. But I love the fact that he's taken them. I love that in the San Antonio game, they're putting him on Victor Wembanyama. And while Wemby is going to win those matchups by and large right now, he had some great moments, knocking passes away. I think you've seen the hands show up. I brought that up a lot, his hand eye and how good his hands are in traffic. He caught an entry pass basically behind him, one hand snare. And then on a lob pass in the San Antonio game, he catches it with his left in midair and shoots a layup all in one motion. He has the potential to be a very good defensive player. And the strength, the touch, the passing, I think you already see it in small doses in Toronto. I'm still buying stock. I continue to hold on to all the stock I already had. Love what I'm seeing from my guy, CMB.
Keep on buying that stock, man. CMB.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into like Enron stock.
Dylan Harper, Jeremiah Fears, Cedric Coward, VJ Edgecombe, featured on this episode, the latest installment of Rookie Watch here on the PHLY Sixers Podcast. For more, make sure you go check us out and hang out with us at PHLY and check out all that we do here at the network and certainly on the Sixers side, where things have looked pretty good so far for the local basketball team. Like and subscribe to the show. When you do, you'll get an alert and there'll be a bell. Hit the bell icon and let you know that it is showtime for us. When you do that, you'll help us out with the numbers, of course, and bring more and more people in and more engagement overall. So for Derek, Kyle, Bree, I'm Devon. Like and subscribe to the show. Another edition of Rookie Watch right here on the PHLY Sixers Podcast.